Doing? Welcome to this week's reading vlog. Also hello from Tony, who is halfway snoozing over there. It is Wednesday, getting a little bit of a late start to this video, but what else is new? I just got back from my osteopath appointment and it was brutal. Oh my god. She did warn me that last week she was taking it easy because it was our first appointment together and she just kind of wanted to see what everything was like and that our next appointment would be more intense, and she was not lying. Oh man, that hurt a lot. I literally cried at one point. I mentioned in last week's vlog with the broken ankle that I have. It's been broken for over a decade, just never healed properly. So last week she was checking that out and she was like, yep. Sure is broken. And now this week she was planning on actually starting to tackle that and try and get it dealt with. So she did a lot with like my leg first, and there's a whole bunch of problems with my legs apparently that I didn't even know about. So that was painful to begin with. And then she gradually worked her way down to my ankle, and then at one point just kind of like found the most painful spot and then just grabbed it and squeezed. And I started sobbing. Oh my god. She didn't warn me, and I'm very glad that she didn't, because otherwise I would have chickened out. She just kind of did it, and I just went and tears immediately. Oh my god, it was so painful. But I got through it, and now I'm sitting here and I've got my my little snake heating pad wrapped around my ankle, and I have a couple on my back as well, as she told me to heat as much as I can. So this is basically where I'm going to be sitting for the rest of the day, is just kind of on the couch and probably gonna take a nap at some point, and that's really it. That's the whole plan today. I'm really glad that I have the day off. Why couldn't I have just had a normally functioning body? That sounds like such a nice concept that I've never been able to relate to. Anyways, so reading wise, I really haven't done much reading in the last week or so. I'm still reading Weird Fishes by Mariz. I think I've only read like 3 or 4 pages since last week. Not because I don't want to, I do want to read this book. It's just, as I've mentioned a million times, I have a hard time with just physically reading without the audiobook, and this one I only have access to the ebook, so it's taking me a long time to be able to get through it. But that's fine. I'll get through it when I get through it. And then I'm also still reading Days of Blood and Starlight. I'm just about to finish it. I have less than an hour left. So once I finish up here, I'm going to tuck into that and get that done. I'm so hyped to see how this one ends. It's gotten so good. I've been enjoying the whole thing, but the first half was like not boring, but like not as exciting as I would have wanted it to be. But the last half, interesting things are happening. I'm very much looking forward to seeing where the plot goes, and I have a feeling it's probably going to end off on a cliffhanger. And then for the rest of the day, I think I'm going to do some meal prepping. I want to do something with tofu. I'm not really sure what yet, but I'm gonna do some kind of meal prepping, and yeah, we'll go from there, see what happens. I'm not sure what I'm planning on reading next. I have a couple things that I want to get to. I'm probably going to be starting episode 3 of Backlist Bash next week. So before then, I want to get through at least a couple other things that were on my TBR for this month. Mainly, I really want to read Swordheart by Kingfisher. That's the book club read for Cozy Quill, and I just went and bought this beautiful edition of it. So I really want to get to that one. And then I want to get to Witch Please by Aguirre. I think that one's my buzzword covers read, I want to say. I'm going to go and finish Days of Blood and Starlight, probably grab a snack first, and then I'll chat with you guys later. Happy Friday, everybody. I have several many updates for reading stuff, so we'll get into that first. I think I last updated it on Wednesday, so later that evening I did end up finishing Days of Blood and Starlight, and I really enjoyed it. I found the first half to be not boring, but not as engaging as I hoped that it would be, just compared to how much I enjoyed the first book. The first half of book 2 is not as interesting, but the second half really picked it up for me and I ended up really enjoying it. I gave it a 4-star. I loved the ending. I can't wait to see where things go in book 3. And this is one of those times where I really don't mind the fact that there's a love triangle. I normally hate love triangles, but this one I kind of fuck with, I'm not gonna lie, and I would kind of be okay with either outcome, to be honest. I think this second option is really sweet and cute, and I'd be very much okay with that, but obviously, like, the first option has the more, like, fiery passion kind of thing, and the whole, like, forbidden romance kind of thing, so that's kind of cool, too. So, either way, I feel like I'm gonna be pretty happy. Granted, I do feel like I know what's gonna happen in the third book in terms of the love triangle. I feel like the one who's gonna be endgame is pretty obvious, and I have this sinking feeling that the other one might die. Just a feeling, you know? Because knowing this author, I feel like she's just gonna like make me love this character and then rip my heart out and stomp on it. So that's probably what's gonna happen. Maybe I'll be wrong and be pleasantly surprised, but that's just my prediction. Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong, please. Obviously, spoilers. But I'm very much looking forward to reading the sequel to that one. And then that night, I also finished reading Weird Fishes, and also very much enjoyed this one. It was so weird and so fun. Very strong friendship themes in here, and like some cool found family stuff. But I also had a really good reading experience with that one on Wednesday. I just put on some like underwater ambience music that I found on YouTube and just sat on the couch and read the rest of that book pretty much in one sitting. Had some ice cream with it. It was great. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. It was really fun. I really enjoyed the creativity of this world and how interesting the characters are and the social hierarchy and that kind of thing. Especially the grandma crabs. They were definitely my favorite. They had no speaking roles in this book, but just the thought of them was delightful. So, and the imagery in my head was so pretty. It was a very visual book. I had no problem picturing anything that was happening in here. Very well written, very well done, and just a fun, quirky little book that I thoroughly enjoyed and definitely recommend. And then also that night after finishing that one, I ended up starting the audiobook for Witch Please by Aguirre. It's the first book in the Fix It Witches series, which is a series of like standalone contemporary witchy romances. I read the 4th book in the series, was that last year, maybe? I forget, might have been this year, might have been last year. Either way, read that one, had a good time with it. Read the majority of book 1 on Wednesday night. I got maybe 70% through and then finished the next morning, and it was great, and I also gave it 4 stars. I found the main character to be the like loveliest, kind of quirky with all of her weird juice combinations that she liked to make and that kind of thing. It was just like a weird thing to put in there, and I really enjoyed that part of it for some reason. Such a tiny thing, but I liked that part of it a lot. It just gave her more personality than I feel like some other main characters get sometimes in these romance books. It's like, while I love this genre, I do feel like after I've read so many of them, they're kind of starting to blur together, so I feel like this one's going to stand out because of that one random quirk in it. I loved the love interest. He's a like, I think 32-year-old baker. He's a virgin. He's never had any luck in love, literally ever. He's bisexual and just like the cutest man ever. I loved him. He's so anxious about everything, especially to do with relationships, and I just really enjoyed absolutely everything about him. I loved how self-aware he was about his own issues, and how he was like actively trying to work on those things and not project his own insecurities onto her. I thought that was very emotionally mature of him. But yeah, this was a super fun read and I had a great time with it. Good enough time that I immediately started book 2. So I'm now about 60% of the way through book 2 currently. This one's called Boss Witch, and so far having a great time. I think I like it a little bit less than the other 2 books in the series that I've read, but I am still having a great time. Obviously I'm flying through it, so I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes, and I'll probably finish that one tonight, most likely. I got to leave work really early today, so I went to the gym, got some pizza. Didn't realize that today is Pie Day, so pizza was super cheap. There's this new place that opened up next to my work that's a wood-fired pizza place, and I kept meaning to try it, so I figured I would go there today, and it just happened to be Pie Day, so I got pizza for $3.14. Great. I got their spicy marinara sauce with mozzarella, artichoke, and feta, and it was fucking fucking incredible. Oh my god, it was so good. And then I also got a salad with arugula, roasted red peppers, goat cheese, candied pecans, apple, and a balsamic glaze, and it was so good. Oh my god, it was delicious. And I had that while watching some Rings of Power, which I'm also really enjoying. The episode that I just watched was excellent. They brought in some characters that I love, and I was so happy to see. So yeah, really enjoying that right now. And yeah, now that I'm done that, I'm going to edit my TBR video. I filmed it at my friend's house last week and then I forgot to edit it. So even though we're halfway through March, I have yet to post my March TBR. So I'm gonna get that edited and upload it for tomorrow morning. And then once I'm done that, I'm going to carry on with my book and probably also finish that tonight. Literally every single time I turn on my camera, I'm immediately awkward. Like, I genuinely never know what to say. One day, I should really do a whole video on, like, just the moments where I first hit record, because it's nothing but, like, awkward silence for a solid 10 seconds. I don't know why saying hello is so weird every single time, and I've been doing this for years. Anyways, how we doing? Happy Monday, everybody. Let's wrap up the vlog. I have read multiple things since last we spoke. I think the last time I checked in was on Friday, I'm pretty sure. I was in the middle of Boss Witch, and I did finish that one, I think that night. I read it all in the same day, I'm pretty sure. Hi, Tony. That one I gave a 4-star to as well. I really enjoyed it. I think I was saying that I liked the first book and the fourth book better, and that was still the case. This one was still great. It was still a 4-star, but it was like a slightly less 4-star than Witch Please was on Pile, just by like 1 point, not by a whole lot, but still. And then right after that, I also ended up picking up the third and final book in the series, or final for me, because I had already read book 4. What was that one called? Extra Witchy. Read that one, and this one was my favorite in the series. I loved it. Still a 4-star, but a little bit of like a higher 4-star, you know, like a 4.25, I guess we'll go with that. This was great. I loved this one so much because it's a marriage of convenience, which I love that trope. It's one that I don't read very often, but whenever I do, I go so hard for that one. Usually, okay, so sometimes I don't like it because sometimes there's a lot of miscommunication with that one, where it's just like these people aren't talking to each other. But I really liked in ones where they do actually communicate quite a bit, and this one was one of those cases. The two of them were fully on the same page pretty much the entire time. It was a little bit of conflict towards the like third act breakup kind of thing, but not a whole lot. The two of them were really good at communicating and holding each other accountable and everything, and I just really appreciated that with it. I also loved the male main character. He had a lot of struggles with really severe depression, really bad self-esteem from just his childhood and like the way that his parents would talk to him. Just as a result of his childhood, he ended up really spiraling as an adult, and he felt like a failure. He was living in his parents' basement, huge stoner, couldn't keep a job. He was experiencing those things because of his depression, but then everybody else around him, including almost all of his friends, just saw him as
that guy, which made his depression so much worse, and it was just this huge spiral that he just couldn't get out of. And I loved his journey through this. It was the best part of the book for me. I loved the way that he addressed it with himself and that he really needed to help himself, and he did that, and it was lovely. I thought that was such a great part of the book that I don't see very often, especially when it comes to men's mental health. It's often not portrayed very well, or usually at all, in books or movies or any kind of media, so that was really nice to see. And yeah, just overall, this was a great read. I loved the romance. The two of them had really good banter. Their chemistry was fantastic. I love how they stood up for each other. And I especially love that you had this like really powerful female character as well, who was this absolute boss. She was the mayor's assistant, and she hated how she was being treated by these misogynistic men. So instead of quitting, she just chose to run for mayor and take them out of office. But at the same time, she's also very soft and vulnerable and needs support from her found family and learns to trust this new man in her life really quickly. I loved the duality of both of these characters so much. I thought they were both so well done and complemented each other perfectly. And yeah, this ended up being like by far the best book in the series. I had a great time reading all of them, but especially this one. And yeah, that's now another series crossed off of the never-ending series list, so I love that. Speaking of series, I have also started and now just finished Honor Bound by Rachel Caine and Aguirre. Apparently this is the week of Aguirre. This is my fourth book by her that I've read this week, but Honor Bound is the sequel to Honor Among Thieves, which I read for Backlist Bash. Was that last month? Yeah, it was last month. And I loved that book. I flew through it. This one I also read pretty quickly as well. I started it yesterday, I think. Maybe the day before. I'm not really sure. Either way, it wasn't that long ago, and I've just finished it tonight. This one I liked less than Honor Among Thieves. I haven't put it through Cop-Pile yet, but I think it'll probably get like a 3.5 star. For a bit there, I was kind of considering not reading the last book in the series. That last chapter really drew me back in because there's a character who I really like. So I am actually really interested in reading the last book purely for that one character. But there are other plot threads. Yes, Tony. Hi, buddy. But there are some other plot threads that I really don't care about. Like there's things that are happening, things that were put in place here that are going to be the main plot of the next book that I really don't care for, to be honest. There's things from Earth and characters from the main character's past that I'm just not really interested in. So I'll still read the last book, but I'm really hoping that those plot points aren't going to be the main focus, and the main focus will be on this one character. That would be my ideal, but we'll see how it goes. I'll read it hopefully next month, I want to say. Otherwise, solid read. Again, probably a 3.5 star. Oh, I also had the same complaint with this one as I did about the first book in the series, was that it was so much action, just like action scene after action scene with very little breathing room in between, where I feel like I don't really know the characters very well. I know the characters when they're in crisis, and that's really it. I really don't know anything about who they are just in their off time, you know? And I do wish that there was more space for the characters to breathe a bit and to actually get to know the characters aside from when they're in the height of battle. So aside from that, though, I did quite enjoy this book. Same as the first book, it was well written. I like the characters. The characters aren't like the most interesting that I've ever read, but I do like them enough to be invested in their stories. So I'm looking forward to seeing where all that goes soon. And then, very exciting, but I've also started Swordheart by T. Kingfisher. I am, oh, those beautiful sprayed edges. I'm currently on page 136, chapter 18, and having the best time with this. This is hysterical. This is the book club read for Cozy Quill this month, and I couldn't be happier to be reading a T. Kingfisher again. I love this author. It's been way too long since I read one of her books. Every time that I pick up one of her books, I forget how funny she is. All of her books are hysterical, and literally every time I forget that. I don't know why. I am starting Backlist Bash this week, so I'm going to be kind of slowly picking away at this one as I'm reading books for that. But I don't want to just rush through this one. I do want to actually like take my time and savor it. I have a feeling that I'm going to love this one to bits. So I don't want to just like blow through it and not enjoy it as much as I would have. So I'll be slowly reading this one while I read other things for Backlist Bash. And then I also have a little mini book haul. So I went to the thrift store today. First of all, look how stupid these are. Like, are you kidding me? These are so dumb. I love these so much. These are incredible. Like, I found these in my size for $8. Like, come on. And they are so cool and so fun. And these will be the perfect thing for a rave when, like, 'cause I normally wear my gigantic, like, 8-inch platform boots when I go to raves. And I'm sure, as you can imagine, after a while of dancing in those, your feet start to hurt and my ankles feel like they're to break. So these would be a really fun thing just to bring with me to change into once the boots start to get too much, or if I'm just like having a time where I don't feel like wearing boots, period. I still have a fun pair of shoes that'll go with pretty much any rave outfit that I have. These are fantastic. And I'm so happy that I found these. Like, I saw these on the shelf and I was just like, my jaw dropped. I went, no way, and grabbed them immediately, and they fit, and I'm just like, incredible. Do you know how hard it is to find cool shoes in a size 10, women's? I have huge feet. That is impossible. And yes, these look like clown shoes, and I don't care. They're perfect. Book stuff. So while I was there, I also found Bird Box by Josh Mallerman. I don't really know why I picked this up, probably because it was cheap. Like, it says $4, but actually it rang up as 3. So I love that. I've heard great things about this. I watched the movie years ago and I loved it. So I figured, why not get the book for really cheap? See if I like it. I probably will. And then, so excited while I was browsing there. This one I didn't even see right away. My eyes glazed right over it and then snapped back to it, and I was just like, what? But I found In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune, and I'm so happy about it. This was $3. $3! Like, are you kidding me? Amazing. Like, there was no barcode anywhere on it, so I had no idea what it was gonna cost, but I figured it was gonna be a good price because, like, with this thrift store, I've never seen a book be more than like maybe $5 or $6, so I figured whatever it is, it's gonna be a good price, and it was $3. Like, come on. Incredible. And it's in like basically brand new condition. There's a little bit of a bend in the corner, but like barely anything. So I'm very happy. I have read this one previously and I probably won't reread it, but I wanted this on my shelf because I have The House in the Cerulean Sea and the other one, Under the Whispering Door, in like the similar editions. So now I have them as a matching set and I'm really happy about that. But yeah, so that was a good day today. I also got this really comfortable pair of like corduroy joggers kind of thing. They're like a brown corduroy. I have a very similar pair, but the ones that I already had are very stiff. So they're comfortable to wear when I'm like out and walking around. But these ones I could wear in the house and be comfortable while also looking cute and not just in like sweatpants. So I love that for me. Last thing, book mail. I'm so excited. I know exactly what this is. It arrived a day early and I'm hyped about it. So, are you ready? Are you ready? It's backwards, of course it is, but ta-da! Ah! I'm so happy. I don't know what to spell out of that. Something just fell out. Oh, it was just the receipt. It's fine. My pre-order for Sunrise on the Reaping has arrived, and I am so happy. This sticker better fucking come off. Otherwise, you're dead. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, it's a book. Am I okay today? I'm hyper. It's like midnight right now. Ooh, shiny. I love that. Yeah, I'm in a really good mood right now. Like, not that that's odd, but like it's also kind of odd. I'm not normally this peppy at midnight on a Monday. Oh, I'm so hyped. I am so freaking hyped for this. Oh my god. When you've been set up to lose everything you love, what is there left to fight for? Ooh. Oh my god, I can't wait. If this flops, I'm gonna be so upset because the Songbird whatever one that flopped. No one can tell me otherwise. That book sucked. So this one, hey Mitch, my boy Hey Mitch, nobody can ruin this. Right? Right, Tony? He gets it. Suzanne Collins, if you ruin this book, I'm gonna be very upset with you. It's gonna be great. I have full faith that's not going to suck. We'll see. I've been burned before. But yeah, so there is today's little haul. I love that for me. This is a fantastic haul and I'm very hyped about it. I've had this pre-ordered since October. So, I'm very much looking forward to it. I am going to try and get the audiobook on hold as soon as physically possible so that I can get to this ASAP. Maybe I'll try and just read this physically without the audiobook because I feel like it's going to be a hot minute but before that comes in. and I do want to read it like ASAP. So maybe like right after Backless Bash, I'll do that. Who knows? Anyways, that is all that I have to say. I've been rambling now for 18 minutes. Oh boy. For once, I'm actually caught up on editing like the previous clips of this vlog, so all I'll have to do is do this one. So hopefully this video will not take me a million years to actually get it finished and uploaded. I'm aiming to have it done by tomorrow. That's the goal. Once I finish yapping away, I'm gonna sit down and edit the rest of this, or edit some of it until I fall asleep. That's basically the plan. So you will hopefully see this tomorrow, Tuesday. If not, you'll see it eventually. Whatever. We'll get there at some point or another. But I'm gonna go get ready for bed and hope that I can like calm down, because I have the most energy right now and it needs to stop. But also I'm enjoying it because I feel happy right now. I like that. But I do need to shut up though, because it's been too long and I gotta stop talking before it gets to 20 minutes. I'm gonna go, okay, love you, bye. Bye.